Narration, look at the traditional path. You spend weeks memorizing data types. You struggle with brackets and indentation. You feel a rush of victory when your hello world finally runs. But here is the cold, hard truth. You are training for a job that no longer exists. In 2026, syntax is a commodity. It's free. It's instant. If your primary value is knowing the how of the code, the specific commas, the boilerplate, the library calls, you aren't a developer. You're a human typewriter. And human typewriters are the first to be replaced. This is exactly why you feel trapped in tutorial hell. You're learning the dictionary, but you have no idea how to write the story. You can follow a guide, but the moment you face a blank screen without a prompt, you freeze. You're spending 80% of your energy on the 20% of the work that AI does better than you. You're optimizing for the wrong metric. While you're worrying about whether to use a for loop or a while loop, the top 1% are focusing on system architecture and problem decomposition. They aren't fighting the language, they're directing the AI to build the solution. So if syntax is a commodity, what actually matters? The architecture. You don't need to be a human dictionary for Python or JavaScript. You need to be the conductor of the AI. In 2026, the gap between a junior and a senior isn't how many libraries they've memorized. It's their ability to decompose a complex problem into logical steps. Let's break down the non-CS roadmap for the AI era. First, stop the tutorial hell cycle. Most courses teach you how to type. They don't teach you how to think. Instead, we're switching to reverse engineering. Here is the new workflow. Step 1, pick a project that actually solves a problem, not a to-do list, a real tool. Step 2, use an AI assistant to scaffold the initial code. Now, here is where 99% of beginners fail. They copy, paste, and move on. That is how you become obsolete. To actually learn, you must perform a logic audit. You ask the AI, why did you choose a hash map here instead of a list? What is the time complexity of this function? How would this break if I had 1 million users? By doing this, you aren't learning syntax. You're learning system design. You're learning how data flows from a user's click to a database and back. That is the goldmine. Now, you still need the foundations. You can't audit code if you don't know what a variable or a loop is. This is where tools like Codecademy or a targeted Udemy course come in. But use them as a reference manual, not a textbook. Spend 20% of your time on the basics and 80% of your time breaking things in your project. The goal isn't to write code that works. AI can do that. The goal is to understand why asterisk it works and how to fix it when it doesn't. In 2026, the most high-paid developers aren't the fastest typists. They're the best architects. Now, if you're wondering where to actually practice this logic-first approach, I've linked my top recommended resources in the description. These aren't your typical syntax grind courses. I've picked the ones that focus on architectural thinking and problem solving. Imagine the result. Instead of spending 6 months memorizing brackets, you're deploying full-scale applications in weeks. That is the power of mastering logic over syntax. You stop being a coder and start being a solution architect. That is how you land high-paying roles in a market saturated with AI-generated code. If this shift in perspective clicked for you, hit the like button. Subscribe to join the top 1% of developers who actually know how to leverage AI. Now, stop memorizing and start building.